What's up, guys? So this is gonna be a little bit of a different type of video, but I feel like I emphasize on documenting my life, and today in particular is a very special day for me, and it's that I just turned 20. So what does this mean, right? I'm no longer a teenager now, and what am I feeling like right now? It's definitely I feel like it's a very big time in our adulthood or young adulthood life where you feel like you're not a kid anymore. You're no longer a teenager, and you sort of have this pressure to figure out what you're doing with your life. Figure out your why and your goals. I feel like within the past year of my last year being a teenager, I really wanted to dig deeper into myself and sort of figure out where I can make the most amount of self improvement. So, what happens now, right? What changes? I feel like when we're going through change or big obstacles in our life, we tend to sort of forget to stay in the present moment. And I feel like this past year, as me being a teenager, has flew by incredibly fast. Currently third year going to university, and I feel like unk now. I'm not gonna lie, like I feel super old, and I know I have so many more years to be able to mess up. And that's, I think, something that I've learned, going into my 20s is to be in pursuit of failure. One big takeaway that I took away from my teens is that I wasn't really making the most of my opportunities, and I wasn't really truly soaking up everything that I took for granted. And new experiences and trying to gather as many memories as possible is a goal that I really want to take going into my 20s. I feel like that's the perfect time, right? You're young enough to sort of have that energy to try new things, but at the same time, you're old enough to have experienced enough, if that makes sense. So I think going into my 20s, I want to, no matter what, just try to gather as many experiences as possible. I think that's gonna be my main goal. Whether it's good experiences, bad experience, every single thing that you do, you can learn from it, right? It doesn't matter if you try something new and you fuck it up or you mess up. It's that pursuit of trying that I really want to dig deeper into in my 20s. I'm not gonna lie, like you're not gonna get any younger. Time's gonna go by, and just like that, your childhood is over. And it's like at some point when you're growing up, you have to sort of realize or ask yourself, like, do I have regrets? Did I wish I talked to that specific someone? Did I wish I tried that new sport or tried that new hobby? I feel like we come to this realization as we're approaching adulthood. And don't get me wrong, I don't have it figured out. I'm still learning and growing. But I feel like having, documented my life through these videos has really opened my eyes. Really, truly opened my eyes about where I'm at and where I want to be. Yeah, and that doesn't mean I have everything figured out, right? I'm still normal. I'm still a human being that, feels lost at times. But I think the trajectory of my life recently has been on a positive note. And that's something I want to continue to bring when I'm in my 20s. I don't know if it's just me, but maybe I feel this immense amount of pressure that I need to be taking things more seriously, whether it's my career, whether it's school, my professional life. And I don't know, I think it's exciting, but it's also it's scary, right? It's something that you're not familiar with. I feel like I've coasted along the term teenager for too long now, and now I no longer have an excuse, right? I'm 20 years old, and it's a new chapter of my life and a new opportunity to start taking things more seriously. And it doesn't mean you can't have fun sometimes, right? It just means that, I guess for me, turning 20 is marking like one chapter of my life. Yeah, if we were to make a book about my life, I would definitely say chapter 1 is from when I was born to now, 20. And I think that's just because I've reached a point where I'm sort of leveling out. I feel like this past year I had the most growth, which is what I've seen through, the videos. And I feel like now I'm not on a decline, I'm not on an incline, but I feel like I'm just coasting, right? I feel like I'm at a point now where I'm comfortable being in uncomfortable situations, if that makes sense. I feel like I can experience anything without having second thoughts, second guesses, or being unsure about something. And I feel like that's something I've struggled with within the past 20 years. Just being limited to doing new things because of myself, you know? So yeah, I just want to make this video to sort of pinpoint the chapter 1 of my life. And I think I made a similar video like this before where it sort of serves as like a time capsule, and that's what I want this video to be about. And when I look back on my videos, I definitely want to go to this one specifically because it's a day that I'm no longer a teenager, right? It's a big chapter of my life. So I guess something I'm hoping to carry on into my 20s is the same creativity as I had when I was a teenager, but also this newfound perspective that I have having experienced all those things.